Hello, good morning. It's still morning, technically, 11:30. What time is it? Is it still morning time? Yep. All right, well, welcome to the Wildflower Event Center in Sandy. Sandy's the new home of the Utah Safety Council. I am John Wojciechowski. On your programs, it's John W. because Wojciechowski wouldn't fit. But happy to be here. Welcome. Women in Safety. This is a program the Utah Safety Council, in conjunction with the state of Utah, have been producing for about a decade now. This Wish Award is always our favorite event, our favorite room. So welcome. Thank you for being here. I wanted to be the first to congratulate Sierra on her award. We're going to learn all about here very soon. Yes, yay. But before we officially begin, it's a lot of moving parts. It's a lot to get this thing going. So just wanted to thank the staff at the Utah Safety Council, the Women in Safety Advisory Committee. They work all year long and do a lot of good work throughout the year to make this event happen and to advance safety in the state of Utah, saving lives. And it's because of their efforts that we're safe at work and at home and any place in the state of Utah. So thank you for what you do. Thank you for raising the bar for safety. And with that, we're going to officially get started. I'm going to invite Tammy Brand up, but before Tammy gets up, Tammy's retiring, and so we want to wish her a happy retirement. But what Tammy won't tell you is that at our annual meeting, which we've been doing for 90 years now, the Utah Safety Council, we give out about 130 awards, and about 125 of them go to men. But this year, we have an award, our Lifetime Achievement Safety Award, which Tammy was a recipient of, and so, yes. She was our first female recipient of the Lifetime Achievement Award, and so, did we give you the big check with that yet? Not yet? No? Yeah, okay, well, we owe you. Well, anyway, please welcome Tammy Brand up, and we'll get started. Thank you.
Thanks, John. Okay, so hello everyone, and thank you for joining us. It is an honor to share a brief overview of our Women in Safety program and the work we've done this year. Before we continue, I want to recognize our Women in Safety Steering Committee. Their passion for advancing women in safety and their dedication to our mission have helped shape every workshop, network event, and learning opportunity we've offered this year. Ladies, if you're here, please stand and wave. Thank you. Our mission is simple but powerful: to support, empower, and advance women in the field of safety and health through connection, education, and collaboration. We believe that women in our industry have a strong network and access to meaningful resources. It strengthens not only their careers, but also their workplaces and communities they serve. This year has been an exciting year for our program. We've hosted 6 events designed to bring women together, encourage professional growth, and create supportive spaces, learn from one another. We began with networking events that help women build valuable relationships and discover new opportunities. We also offered workshops focused on topics, leadership development, and skill building to help elevate an expertise for our members. Throughout the year, we invited motivational speakers to share stories, insights, and inspiration, reminding us of the important role that women play in the safety and health profession. And today we reach another special milestone with our Wish Award luncheon. We are honored where we honor a woman who has demonstrated outstanding dedication to the safety within her workplace or community. This award represents everything our program stands for: commitment, leadership, and the impact one individual can make. As we look ahead, our goal is growth. We want more women across Utah and beyond to know that this organization exists for them. We aim to expand our reach, increase our membership engagement, and strengthen our collaboration with the partners who share our mission. We are a resource for support, learning, and for ongoing professional development. Whether someone is new to the safety field or a seasoned leader, we want every woman to feel welcomed, connected, and empowered through this program. Thank you to our members, our partners, and everyone who continues to support this vision. Together, we are building a strong, more inclusive future for women in safety and health. I would like to turn the time over. Thank you. I would. And now I would like to turn the time over to Yvette. Thank you.
I just have to say I only get dressed up like this twice a year for our annual meeting and for Wish. So I just want to thank everyone for coming today and enjoying our Women in Safety. So I'm just going to introduce our speaker today, Miss Rachel Royal. As we highlight the strength and dedication of women in safety, it's also important to acknowledge the balance we all work to maintain leading others while taking care of ourselves. Our keynote speaker understands that balance deeply. Rachel Royal is a transformational coach, keynote speaker, licensed attorney, author, and entrepreneur. She has led multi-million-dollar companies and achieved the kind of success many strive for, only to learn that achievement without self-love and inner connection can feel empty. Her lived experience shaped Love Set, her signature approach that moves beyond mindset and into embodiment, presence, and emotional safety. It's also the foundation of her upcoming book. As a high performer, wife, and mother of 7, Rachel knows the real tension between ambition and rest, control and surrender, striving and slowing down. Her mission is to help people stop chasing worthiness through achievement and instead experience deeper peace, joy, and fulfillment. Please join me in welcoming Rachel Royal.
Thank you. Who here would love to be completely and absolutely in love with your life? Not every hand is up. Who here already is in love with their life? Raise your hand. Okay, for those of you who are raising your hand, do you believe that there are deeper levels of loving your life? And is there still something you want that you don't yet have? Several years ago, I was parked in the middle of the night in my car in a random place. I had no idea where I was. I was driving aimlessly that night to escape the darkness of my home and escape the darkness of my life. I did that a lot at that time in my life. I just needed to get out of my house and escape. And it wasn't the first time, and it wasn't the only time I felt this way, but it was the time I remember being closest to deciding to end my life. I couldn't bear the pain and the suffering of my life and the hopelessness that I felt. And so in that moment, I decided to call my sister. And thankfully, she answered. And she listened and she talked me down. And I drove home that night. And I went to go see my 3 little beautiful baby boys. They were sleeping. And I went to go kiss them. And I looked at them. And I knew that something had to change. I knew I couldn't continue like this. And so I made a commitment in that moment to live for them, to live for myself. But I didn't want to just survive. I didn't want to just go through the motions and be a shell of a human being. I wanted to live an amazing, incredible life. I wanted to be in love with my life. I wanted to feel alive, and I wanted to be the example of a person and a woman and a mom who felt in love with life, who had joy, who felt fulfilled, and I wanted to be that example for my boys. And in that moment, I remembered something a mentor had told me earlier that year. And it was this radical concept that I'd never heard before. And what she said is that every single human being on this planet is 100% worthy and 100% lovable. We were born worthy, we will die worthy, and nothing that we do or don't do can change that. And this was such a foreign concept to me because my whole life I had lived with this idea that my worthiness was conditional upon my achievements, upon what I accomplished. So my whole life I was striving for worthiness. I was hustling to prove that I was good enough through my achievements, accomplishments. I am a very high achiever, high performer. I know we have a lot of those in here today. But the issue was that I was taught that I wasn't good enough unless I did those things. And so I did all the right things. I was a very good girl. I went to the university my parents wanted me to. I was very religious. I served a mission for my church. I was a very good missionary. I got married, had babies, went to law school, became an attorney. I did everything I was told to do, and still I felt completely empty and miserable, and I hated my life. Because I was so devoted to trying to earn my worthiness and earn love and approval from others, I ended up in this situation. And so I made a commitment that night that I would practice and start a devotion to learning to love myself, to believe that I was worthy without any accomplishments, without any achievements. And I practiced this every single day. Every time something came up, I came back to I am worthy, I am lovable. And if someone can't love me or doesn't love me, it's not because I'm unlovable, it's because that person is incapable of loving me. And if I can't love someone, it's not because they're not lovable, it's my incapability to love. And so as I devoted to this practice of loving myself and feeling worthy, my whole life changed. Within a little over a year from that moment, I had completely changed my life, and I truly created a life that I loved. I had left my marriage that did not serve me, that was not full of love. I had built a career and that I really loved. I tripled my income that year as a single mom. I started dancing again, which I hadn't done in over 10 years because I felt like I deserved to have fun and I wanted to do it. And through dancing, I met the love of my life, Chris. And so within this very short period of time, my life looked completely different. And it's because I changed my devotion from fear and thinking I wasn't good enough to love and self-love and worthiness. So, as you had heard, I do have 7 kids. Chris and I, when we met, each had 3 kids and blended our families pretty quickly, and we have had lots of amazing experiences, ups and downs. And one incredible experience that we've had is almost 2 years ago, we decided to have a baby. And it was so illogical because we already had 6 kids. It was the worst timing. And he'd always wanted to have a baby with me, and I was like, not happening. But I just felt like we had to do it. And so I told him, I was like, okay, babe, I'm ready. Let's have a baby, but it has to be a girl. And he was like, done. I got this. So I got pregnant with a girl, and we found out that I had a very, very dangerous and high-risk pregnancy. And at 28 weeks, I was hospitalized. And they told me I would not be able to leave the hospital until I had the baby. And the thing that made my condition so dangerous was I could start bleeding out and hemorrhaging at any time, and they'd have to do an emergency surgery. But I needed like 1 to 2 hours of prep time in the operating room to make sure that I would survive. And so if we had to do this in an emergency situation, my chance of living and my baby's chance of living decreased dramatically. And so the longer she stayed in, the higher risk there was of this happening. But she needed to stay in longer so she could develop and survive outside of me in the NICU. One night in the hospital, I started bleeding. I woke up and the nurses and the doctors came in, and I remember this bright light above me with all these faces looking down, asking me questions, and I was shaking. I was so scared that this would be the moment we'd have to do this emergency surgery. Luckily, it stopped. They went away. And from that moment, every night I would wake up in fear, in panic, so scared that I would die, that my baby would die, that we wouldn't make it. And one day, my dad's best friend came to visit me in the hospital. And he asked me, hey, what's going on? How are you feeling? What's happening? So I explained everything, told him how I was feeling, why this was such a dangerous situation. And then he looked at me and he said, Rachel, what are the desires of your heart? And that question took me aback because I hadn't thought about what I wanted. I was so focused on the fear of what could go wrong. And so I stopped. I closed my eyes and tears streaming down my face. And I said, I want to live. I want my baby girl to live. I want to make it to our planned surgery. I want there to be no long-term health problems for either of us and no major complications. I want to live a long, happy, and healthy life. And I want to raise my children alongside my husband. Those are the desires of my heart. And then he looked at me and he said, focus on that. And so that's what I did. Every single day in that hospital bed, I focused on those desires. I would close my eyes, I would meditate, I would get into a state of gratitude. I would thank the universe, thank God for my amazing medical staff, having the best surgeon preparing for this surgery. I would be so grateful. I had this beautiful view of the mountains on the east side from my room. I was so grateful for that view. I was so grateful for my beautiful children. So grateful for my amazing husband, who after a long days of work, every single night would come and sleep on that uncomfortable hospital furniture so that I wouldn't be alone. So in this state of gratitude, I would then visualize me, Chris, and Luna, our unborn baby girl, on the beach in Hawaii, where I'm from. I would picture us and visualize us just playing on the sand and having so much fun and being so full of gratitude and love and joy. And I held onto that vision and I felt as if it was real, if it was happening. And I did that every day, multiple times a day. And the day of the surgery came. And I was at total peace. All the fear had left. And the nurses and doctors, they were way more nervous than I was. They were like, are you sure you're okay? And I'm like, yes, I'm at peace, I'm good. Even I remember my anesthesiologist was like, you do know how dangerous this surgery is, right? I was like, yeah, I know. We're gonna be fine. So So we had the C-section. I heard my baby girl cry. Chris took a picture of her coming out so I could see her, and then they took her off and put me to sleep. And I should preface, this surgery, they had to do a lot of things because they said that, there's a very good chance of me losing so much blood that they'd have to do a blood transfusion. I could end up in the ICU. They might have to cut into other organs to complete this surgery. And when I woke up from my surgery, I had no idea what happened. But I got a hold of Chris. I found out Luna was fine. She was stable. She was in the NICU, and she was going to be okay. I was so relieved. And then the doctor came to give me an update on what had happened. And he said, I don't know what you did, but that was the best case scenario surgery I've ever seen of your condition. And your case was bad. No cutting into other organs, no blood transfusion. He said, I actually had lost way less blood than a normal C-section, and it was unheard of. He said that they were going to be presenting my case at a medical conference in a couple of weeks from then, and they agreed as a team that they were going to lie about how much blood I lost and say I lost way more blood than I actually did because no one would believe them. And as the doctor left the room, I was filled with this power, with this energy, with this knowing that I am a divine, unlimited, and powerful creator, and that we are all divine, unlimited, and powerful creators. 2 weeks ago, Chris, Luna, and I went to Hawaii for Thanksgiving to spend it with my family, and we went to the beach together. And we were playing in the sands, and she loves the beach. It's so cute. And I had a moment, I was sitting there, and I realized this was the moment I had created 15 months earlier, lying in my hospital bed. And I was filled with so much gratitude and joy, and I'd already lived this moment multiple times. If that's not magic, I don't know what is. To create a life that we truly love, we have to first love ourselves deeply and unconditionally. We have to believe in our worthiness and know that nothing can change that, and that we are worthy of everything we want. Everything we want. We have to constantly get into a state of gratitude and be so grateful for what we currently have, because we have so much to be grateful for, and it's so easy to focus on what we don't have. But when we're in a state of gratitude, and then from that state, hold onto a future vision that is greater than our current reality, and then from there, take inspired action and engage support along the way, that is how we create lives that we love and are deeply in love with. I had a chance to speak to our amazing award recipient, Sierra, and she's an incredible human, well-deserved. And we were talking, I was getting to know her, and she was talking about the safety industry and how it's so male-dominated, and how sometimes it's hard to speak up in meetings in a room full of men. And I think her words exactly were, a room full of white, older, bald men. Her words, not mine. We love our white, older, bald men. We do. And she said sometimes it's hard, right, being a woman and being one of the few. And so I asked her, I'm like, well, how have you done it? How have you been able to take these initiatives to get all these things done, and especially supporting our marginalized communities? Like, how have you been able to speak up? And she said, because I've had amazing, strong women mentors along the way. that not only trained her and had great follow through, but who were the example of what was possible. And she saw that, and she's been able to emulate that. We have to have support. I wouldn't be where I am today without support. From my sister, who picked up the phone when I needed her. From my mentor, who taught me that we are all 100% worthy and lovable. From my dad's best friend, who reminded me to shift from fear and lack to love and to joy and to the desires of my heart. For all of the many mentors and guides and coaches that I've had who have helped me be where I am today. And I am not perfect. My life is not perfect. I'm still figuring things out just like everybody else. But I do love my life. And I know how to fall more and more deeply in love with it, no matter what happens. This year, starting in January, I had a mentor challenge me to start a practice. And so I devoted myself to this practice. And I've done it every single day this year, except for I've missed a handful of days, but I've done it almost every day. And it has changed my life completely. And this devotion to this practice is very similar to what I was practicing in the hospital, actually. And so what I do every single morning is I meditate, I close my eyes, I get into a state of gratitude. And as soon as the guided meditation that I listen to says, think of something you're grateful for, find gratitude. No matter how tired I am, how unexcited I am about the day, about going out into the cold, no matter if I haven't had my coffee yet, I immediately think and say, I am so grateful to be alive. I'm so grateful that Luna is alive. And everything else is just a bonus. And from that state of gratitude, I think of everything that I have. And then I hold a greater vision of my future in the state of gratitude, something I want, something I desire, something I don't have yet, and I visualize it, and I feel like it's already happening. And then I do it with joy and with love, and I get out of my meditation in love with life. And then I go about my day, I take inspired action, and I engage support along the way. And the only reason I've been able to create so much this year, from this practice, I actually was able to get the exact job I wanted at the exact law firm I wanted with the exact salary. I was able to start speaking more. I started doing this specific visualization to do some more keynotes. And within 3 days of starting it, Fabiana called me. She was like, hey, will you speak at our Wish Award ceremony? And I was like, yes, I will. Because we deserve to do the things that light us up. And so I want to leave you with this message. We are all divine, unlimited, and powerful creators. And we deserve to live lives that we are fully in love with. But we create what we're devoted to. So what will you devote yourself to? And I know that if we devote ourselves to creating lives that we love, life will rise to meet that devotion. Thank you.
Can we give one more round of applause for our Rachel Royal? I'm actually going to put this up here. All right. Before we move on to honor the rest of the women in safety here today, we just want to say thank you to Rachel with flowers, and she got her lei. Her lei is a tea leaf lei in the Polynesian culture. It is about honor, respect, and success, and that's just fitting for our speaker today. Thank you, Rachel. All right, and so before we announce our winner, I want to recognize the amazing women who were nominated this year. Every nomination came from someone who truly believes in their leadership and dedication to safety, whether it was a mentor, a supervisor, or a coworker. Each nominee brought something special. As we read their stories, we were reminded of the strength, passion, and heart that women in safety bring to their workplaces and communities. This year was especially inspiring. As soon as the nominations opened, they came flooding in, filled with examples of innovation, mentorship, advocacy, and real care for others. Today, we celebrate all of these women. As we announce our honorable mentions, please give them a big round of applause for their outstanding contributions. If you are here with us, we invite you to come up to the stage to receive your flowers and join us for a photo. Please help me welcome Tana Sanders with University of Utah Hospitals and Clinics. Thank you so much. Next, we have Bella Kolovich with Tooele County. Thank you so much. Last but not least, we have Lacey Spencer with Thies Mining USA, Inc. She couldn't make it today, but we still wanted to recognize her. Next, we are going to present this year's Women in Safety and Health Award recipient.
Hi everybody, my name is Fabiana and I am in charge of one of the most important part of the event. I'm just so happy that everybody's here to celebrate Ciara today. And let me tell you a little bit about her. This year's Wish Award honorary reflects everything this recognition stands for: strength, leadership, growth, and heart. She has consistently demonstrated a deep commitment to creating a workplace where safety is a shared value, not just a requirement. Over the past 3 years, she has led several major improvements with her organization's safety and health programs. She helped develop a multilingual injury reporting app now used on all city-issued phones, making injury response more accessible for every employee. She also created a bilingual new hire safety orientation, so all staff begin with the same strong safety foundation. As a certified first aid, CPR, and AED instructor, she has trained more than 125 employees, seeing the higher risk faced by teams in remote areas. She became a certified Stop the Bleed instructor and now leads quarterly hands-on training to prepare staff for severe injuries. Beyond her technical work, she leads with empathy. She mentors others, builds strong relationships, and even job shadow every decision she better understands the challenge her teams face. She doesn't just advocate for safety, she practices alongside the people she serves. Her work perfectly reflects the mission of Women in Safety and Utah Safety Council, and has made a lasting impact on both her workplace and her community. It is an honor to introduce this year's Wish Award recipient, Ciara Jackson.
want me to say a few words?
Would you like to?
Sure, I will. Hi, everyone. I didn't really prepare anything. I just wanted to say thank you to the venue. First of all, this is beautiful. Also to the Women in Safety Steering Committee, Utah Safety Council for putting this on. I know it's hard to plan a party, but this is a great party. And to the other nominees also, I mean, to be nominated for this is just truly an honor. Very thankful for that. And Rachel, you know, just in that spirit of gratitude and everything, you know, very grateful, very thankful for this. It's hard to listen to your own accomplishments a little bit, because really you're just working, right? Just trying to make sure that everybody's included, and safety and health is really important. That's why we're all here, and we all value that very much. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for all of this.
For closing our agenda today, we do want to just express our sincere gratitude. We are thankful for all the supports and the appreciation that you all shown us, the Utah Safety Council and the Women in Safety, and just safety overall. We want to invite you again next year. It's going to come by quick. We hold these annually, and we hope that you continue to spread the mission. Thank you.